I'm Katrina, 30.
The sunlight filters through the floor-to-ceiling windows, casting a warm glow on the contract draft worth six figures on my screen. Just as I'm about to make the final revisions, my phone buzzes on the glass desk. I glance at the screen and freeze. It's Mom's name, flashing for the first time in 12 years. A familiar tightness grips my chest, and memories of the past come flooding back. I grew up in a well-to-do family in Seattle. My parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, were all about status and appearances. My older brother, Ethan, 35, was their golden child, while I was often overlooked. At 17, I was a bright-eyed teenager full of dreams, but one fateful day, everything changed. I remember coming home from school one day to the sound of shouting. When I entered the living room, I saw Ethan cradling his hand, pretending to be in pain. Mom and Dad were hovering over him, their faces full of concern. Before I could even ask what was going on, Mom turned to me with a look of disgust. What kind of monster would hurt her own brother?
She spat.
I tried to defend myself, saying I had nothing to do with it, but my words fell on deaf ears. Dad, with his cold and authoritative voice, gave me an ultimatum. You have 1 hour to pack your things and get out. We can't have this kind of violence in our home. I was in shock. I knew Ethan was lying, but they were so quick to believe him. In a daze, I packed a single suitcase and left the house in the pouring rain. I ended up at my grandmother's house. Grandma Rose was a kind-hearted woman who saw through Ethan's lies. She welcomed me with open arms and gave me some money to help me get back on my feet. That night, I made a silent vow that I would never rely on my parents again. The next day, I filled out job applications and started working multiple jobs to support myself. I also began writing in a small notebook, pouring out all the pain and truth that no one wanted to hear. Grandma Rose encouraged me, saying that my words would be my salvation. College was a struggle. I worked long hours at a diner and a retail store while trying to study. But I didn't give up. I took a creative writing course on a whim, and my professor, Dr. Green, saw my potential. She encouraged me to submit my work to the college magazine, and when I got paid for my first published article, I knew I was on the right track. After graduation, I built my career as a writer step by step. I landed a job with a tech startup, and then I started getting more and more clients. I worked hard, investing in myself and my skills. Eventually, I was able to afford my own apartment and build a successful business. One day, I was invited to speak at a tech conference. I was nervous, but I decided to share my story of resilience and rising from the ashes. My speech was a hit, and it was broadcast online. Suddenly, I was in the spotlight, with offers pouring in from all over. But then, Mom's text came. After 12 years of silence, she wanted to talk. I knew it wasn't a coincidence. I decided to meet them at a coffee shop downtown. When they walked in, they looked older, but their attitudes were the same. They tried to butter me up, saying how much they'd missed me, but I could see through their false niceties. After some small talk, Dad finally got to the point. They were in financial trouble and wanted my help. I looked them in the eye and said I'd help, but only if they held a family gathering and confessed the truth about what happened 12 years ago. They were shocked and tried to negotiate, but I stood my ground. I told them that the truth was non-negotiable. Ethan, not wanting to lose face, sent me a series of angry texts, inadvertently admitting his lie. I saved all the evidence and consulted my lawyer, Ms. Harris. She helped me come up with a plan to expose the truth to the whole family. I sent an email to all my relatives, attaching the evidence. The response was overwhelming. Some relatives admitted they'd always suspected something was wrong, while others were shocked by Ethan's lies. My parents and Ethan tried to fight back, spreading more lies, but it was too late. With the help of my lawyer, I sent a cease and desist letter. After that, a new kind of silence fell. It was a welcome change from the 12-year absence. Aunt Lily then sent me a Thanksgiving invitation, saying that my parents and Ethan wouldn't be there. I accepted, and when I joined the family, I felt a sense of belonging that I'd never felt before. Now, as I sit here looking at this contract, I know that I've come a long way. I built my life without the support of my blood family, and I've found a new family in those who stand by the truth. The past 12 years have been a journey of self, discovery, and growth, and I'm ready to write the next chapter of my life.